coming up on OTH, Raymond and I discussed the newest patch 12.3 and our favorite changes with that, the first weekend of the LCS Lock-In Tournament, as well as the most picked and banned from that as well. We hope you enjoyed this episode of On the Hunt. Welcome, everybody, to episode 42? Yeah. Episode 42 of On the Hunt, a League of Legends podcast. I'm your co-host, Chris, a.k.a. the Chinaman, because I've taken one of those DNA tests, dude, and I'm 99.8% Asian, and 92% of that is Chinese. So I'm, with fair confidence, I can say I'm the Chinaman.
That's fair. I mean, like, were you not aware of that before? We weren't sure?
I was pretty sure. You can never know, I guess.
That's fair.
But now I know for sure. Not that it's important, but, just fun facts. I also am more likely to, likely to be able to hold a musical pitch, according to my report.
Oh.
And not as likely to have back hair. I don't we'll talk to 23andMe about that. And joining me on this episode is our other co-host, Raymond. How's it hanging, man? Did you just come back from a big trip?
Yeah, dude. I'm doing good. Last week I left to go see my grandpa for his 90th birthday. We had a little party at my uncle's house where he lives, so it was fun. We went to Florida. I went all the way to Florida, and I don't think I have COVID, so
that's good. That was
good
my next
things all
question
around.
after
Yeah.
you say Florida.
Yeah, we were pretty safe about it,
That's good. Yeah, that's good to hear, man, because it's spreading and it's out there.
It's
How was
true.
how was the weather in Florida, and then how is it where you live?
Honestly, it was kind of like about the same, I think. Like it's been a little chilly where I am. I guess it's probably windier here. But in Florida it was kind of chilly too. Like not like cold, it's still like Florida, but it was like in the 60s probably at the high and like still sunny and stuff, but we had like one day where it rained on us a little bit in the morning, I think, and that was it.
Okay. Sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah,
Party up with your grandpa.
true.
And how has your league life been going? Has it been
Well,
pretty empty?
yeah, pretty much empty because of that. Like I mean, I left on like Thursday and we recorded last week on Tuesday, right? So I had like, I think I might have played a game on Tuesday or Wednesday and then I left and then I got back Monday and then haven't played League since. So
That's fair, dude. I've
yeah.
actually been playing a fair amount with our boy Abdul.
Yeah.
Lured me into some flex queues. Played a
Did
little
you
bit
guys
of
play
AD.
Clash? I knew that he was talking about it.
No, he asked me about Clash, and I was not home that day. I was goofing
Okay, okay.
off in the out in the universe.
Well, how have
But
the flex games been going?
um, some we've won all of them. We haven't lost yet, so that's good.
Oh,
But some of them
okay.
start off a little sketch. Sometimes I'm still learning the game. For example, I just found out that if a TF ultis on you, you're not going to be able to move because he'll gold card you and Everfrost you, and then you're dead. And so
Oh,
I just found that out. I'm a little late. um,
yeah. I thought you were like kind of a TF player. No, am I misremembering that?
well, the thing is that it doesn't happen to me usually because I'm the
Mm.
TF.
Okay, okay, okay.
And then another thing is tried out First Strike Victor for the first time. It feels kind of weird, kind of fun, I guess. Just like a little mini game of like, haha, can I hit you or can you hit me kind of thing.
Right.
And then Nunu is still a terror, is what I learned.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I feel like there's one
Um,
guy. I think I've been watching the Baus in EU. I think there's a new player there that just goes full AP out of the jungle. That looks like a goddamn mess.
oh yeah, that sounds terrifying. Also, another thing is, you probably invited me to a couple of games over like the winter break and stuff like that. And so for actually like for the last month, anytime somebody invited me to a normal game, I was just playing Lee Sin because that was just what was fun to me. And
Yeah,
so just forgot to fill that in. That like I played like a month of Lee Sin only
damn.
for a good chunk there.
You
But
got your ward hop insects on point now, or what?
Yes, I actually usually don't go for it. I only do it with flash up. I usually don't do it with ward hop because I feel like most of the time I die when I do that. If I expend like the W like that, I'll usually
Uh-huh.
just die, and I don't want to die.
That's fair.
Maybe that's too selfish. Maybe I gotta do some more stuff for the team.
You know, you do you, guy. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you. I need to hear that. Um, Not much to talk about this week, so we'll just hop right into the newest patch with 12.2.
It's coming out
We
tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, coming out tomorrow. Shout outs to Martin Luther King, I think.
Yeah, yeah, you
uh,
got it.
and so this is the patch with a few changes in it where I thought that this patch was going to be the last patch, but then last patch was just kind of empty. So lots of changes here about like 8 buffs, 8 champion buffs, 5 champion nerfs, 3 champions adjusted, so to speak, and then a couple of changes to Chemtech and Hextech Dragon, a couple items, and some runes as well. Do any of these changes catch your eye, my good sir?
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's a lot going on in this one. I think starting with like some of the nerfs, I think we see in this one is like a Talon jungle nerf, which I like to see, and also a nerf to Zed's ultimate, which I also like to see. I feel like those guys have been around quite a bit.
True, true. I'm also happy to see the talent nerf. I'm pretty interested by the Senna change where they just added a 20% slow to her Q. I feel like that's going to be pretty annoying to play against, especially as her range increases across the game. Does that matter to you, or do you think that it's not going to have much impact?
No, I mean, I honestly, I'm with you on it. Like, I think it's gonna be pretty good, and it's like it's a 20% slow at base. Like, it increases 10% per 100 bonus AD. So stacking up with her passive, and if you're building damage on her, it just gets stronger and stronger. And so, like me being, I've already talked about how I've been playing 80 Senna on this podcast before, so I'm intrigued to play some more of it and just now have a slow that makes it easier to proc my passive. So I'm down.
Yeah, and 20% is a lot because that can be upwards of like more than 50 move speed, or probably even more. So yeah, just cutting your move speed by like 1/5,
Yeah.
and with the potential of it being AOE and like fairly long range, especially if you can hit it through a minion, and then that's how you get something started off into a nice W. I
Yeah,
feel
and
like
you're
that this is
already
going
a
to be a
long
pretty
range
strong
champ.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would not be surprised to see some Senna in like LCS and stuff with this change coming around.
yeah, for sure. The only thing that the last time that I played her, her Q cooldown feels pretty long for the
That's
first
the
couple of
Runans,
early
dude.
levels.
Get Runans.
Yeah, so I guess you're gonna have to use them wisely, not just heal your teammates for like puny amounts.
You just got to get. I feel like that's the hardest part about playing with Senna is getting people to realize like you have to be between me and the enemy so that I can get max value. You know, like
Yeah,
that's why you see people just go like the super bruiser supports or whatever, like supports in parentheses there, where you just if you have like fasting Senna and stuff, and then you have the Wukong or like Aurelia's or something in the bot lane with her, and it's like then you don't have to worry about making a Karma or Janna like walk in between you and the enemies like to trade. It's just that's what they do anyway.
that's big brained. The other change that I saw that interests me is they're reducing the cost on Rylai's Crystal Scepter, just taking the cost down by 400 gold. The AP as well, but I'm pretty happy to see changes like this where like they want people to build the item more often and try it out, so they're just making it significantly cheaper. I don't think it's gonna warp the game by any means, but I just think that's fun.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's a big change, right? It's 400 gold cheaper now. Like I feel like we'll probably see some abusers try and pick it up, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like super warping, but I definitely think people will try it out. It'll just be a matter of like if they find something that is actually OP. What was the other one? Oh, I saw. What do you think about the Tristana change? I feel like on the surface they're showing it, and it's like that's not a big deal. Like it's just 40 base health and base health regen up. But like I feel like Trist mid is probably gonna like start coming back if they just give her stat buffs like this.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. I also kind of just glazed over this change, but I wonder if it's going to take anything else. Like I know Tristana can be pretty mana heavy sometimes, so I wonder if that matters for playing her middle, especially with some other like AD carries taking reign in the mid lane right now, namely Corki. And so
Hmm.
I wonder how strong that's going to be, and then maybe we'll have to wait for like another couple of patches to see if people want to try Tristana middle again.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think.
with like the I'm thinking with the nerfs to the AD items over like the last course of the year, it's gonna be tough to like want to play Tristana or Lucian in mid. I think.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like I'm thinking since they've gotten rid of like, or not gotten rid of, but shield bow nerfs seem to be pretty significant in people's minds. And I feel like Corki probably is going to have some impact to him in the next patch, probably, or something, with how prevalent he has been so far in pro play,
Yeah, with that
especially, but
demon
just in
build.
solo queue. Yeah, so if stuff like that starts knocking down the current big tier, I feel like she could have a good a good spot. Oh, and then the chem tank change, dude. I don't know if you've I haven't played against any like super chem tank abusers, but I've just been watching streams and I swear every fucking game has like a chem tank Akali or a chem tank Aurelia or like a chem tank Silas or some stupid shit. I'm glad they're addressing this item like kind of fast, even though it's only come up like this patch.
Oh, I actually did not know about that. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, so basically what I guess what changed with Chemtank, right, is they took off the burn passive on it, and instead it has kind of like a dead man's like ramping stacks thing, like based on movement. And then when you get it max stacks on the movement thing, you just do like a burst of like magic damage like around your attack target. So I was watching like Bjergsen stream, I think, with it, and you rush Chem Tank, and then go Demonic Embrace as like your second item, like an AP item, right? And with just Chem Tank alone, you like can clear faster. You know, like how Akali has like kind of shitty wave clear because you have to use like basically all of your abilities to get like 3 or 4 Qs out on a wave.
Yeah.
It's like you Q and then you can auto the backline like with the proc on, and it'll kill the backline, and then you can like Q like to get the front line too. Like it's like shit like that. And then when you dash with a collie, it gives you a bunch of the move speed stacks too. So like doing you like when you are in and you auto and then like you E away and E back in, you like practically have another like chem tank proc ready because of how far you've dashed. So that's like why they're changing it in this patch to cap how much stacks you can get from one ability or like command. So it's like pretty interesting. Like it's kind of a neat build, like like when you first see it, but it seems just like fucking cancer to deal with when it's getting ahead because it's just a champion that's an assassin building, full tank and still one-shotting you with their combos. So I'm glad it's getting nerfed.
Yeah, glad it's getting nerfed, and then glad you're away for a couple of days, so you don't have to experience that.
Exactly, exactly.
That's going to change very soon, my friend. And then also, lastly, this is the patch that Zeri is going to come out, and then also, um, Random Earth is back, which I kind of like Random Earth. I think it has more playability, I suppose, but also like you can just get BG'd sometimes. I was thinking
Yeah.
that they had Spellbook around for a super long time. I want to say like 2, maybe even 3 months. It was the the game on the side.
Yeah, well, I think what probably happened is that it was out over Christmas, right? And then like you had that extra patch where it was like the rotating game mode. But
Yeah,
it seems like Earth was like not that long before it. Maybe it was just like it's been a kind of a quick cycle of Earth to Spellbook or Spellbook to Earth to Spellbook and now back to Earth.
yeah. Well, personally, I don't mind. I wish they just
Yeah.
I wish that they rotated them quicker instead of like only getting Earth maybe twice a year or something like that.
Hmm.
So I prefer if they could just bring them back quickly, like every other patch or something like that,
Yeah.
or
I
change it every month.
I am with you on the A Earth though. Like I feel like it's definitely the better for like getting to play games without people fucking hard raging at you for picking something weird.
True. And then lastly, we got some new skins coming through. A lot of them are pretty nice. So we have Porcelain Protector Ezreal, Porcelain Lysandra, Porcelain Amumu, Porcelain Lux, and Porcelain Lux Prestige Edition. That one's looking pretty nice. We also have Porcelain Kindred, and then some Lunar New Year skins with Firecracker Set, Firecracker Diana, Firecracker Timo, Firecracker Tristana, and Firecracker Xin Zhao, with Brave Phoenix Zaya Prestige Edition, looking like a champion worth simping for. And then lastly, we'll have Withered Rose Zeri for her first skin to come with her release.
Any of these that you're particularly excited for? Clearly the Zaya Ultimate skin sounds like.
I know, right? For the past, I want to say year or two, I haven't really been a partaker of the battle passes just because I haven't played enough to ever get to it. And then I also don't know if they've implemented any new changes to the prestige point system recently. I thought they were going to do something at the start of this year. So yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. We'll see if Abdul keeps inviting me to games, and yeah, fuck it, I'll just buy the battle pass. But yeah, these are pretty nice skins, both the Lux one and the Zaya one. The Zaya one in particular, I would love to see how the feathers look like and stuff like that.
Yeah, and definitely all of these are fitting for your Chinaman theme. So
yes, exactly. I actually really like that China aesthetic, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I'm not sure why I said that.
I'm not sure either. But yeah, no, I agree with you actually. These are pretty cool skins. I feel like the porcelain ones are like a couple of them are like a little weird, but I guess I'm just looking at the splashes. Like I think I like the Kindred one, but like I feel like I'm getting weird vibes about like the Amumu Sandra one. But I also haven't seen these in game, so maybe it's not as weird as the splash art makes it out to be for me. But the Firecracker ones I think are cool skins. Like all the other Firecracker skins are cool too.
Yeah, and shout out to the Ezreal skin because something about it, I think it's the dance or the recall, makes it summon like a little cat and he plays the drums and it's based off like some sort of video.
Yeah, the cat jam emote, dude.
Yeah, the cat jam. So yeah, that shit's so funny to me. I actually like listened to that song on repeat for like one day at work where I was just like really bored.
And you're just cat jamming the whole time?
Yeah, exactly. Cat jam for like a good 30 minutes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, and then before we go ahead and talk about, the LCS Lock-In, I think now is a good time for us to butt in and do some picks of the week.
Okay. You want to start or you want me to? Actually, Leonel, let me do it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for this? I'm giving you a please don't pick of the week. And even though this is like getting patched within 12 hours of me saying this, I don't know if it's going to be enough to patch it. So please don't pick Turbo Chem Tank Demonic Embrace Akali against me. I don't want to see that. It sounds cancer. And as someone who still has not played on the patch with it, I just, I'm trying to get that out there. Like, please don't pick those champs. I don't want to see it. I'll think if I have an actual pick to like tell you to please pick instead. But for now, that's what I'm saying.
I like it. The anti-pick of the week, reverse pick of the week, however you want to frame it. That's something new. You're going against the general populace.
New year, new me kind of thing.
Yeah, new episode, something like that. Okay, for me, a pick of the week. Let me think about this. For my ARAM one, I'm pretty sure that the tier armor item, Fimbulwinter, I'm pretty sure it's broken for ARAMs especially because you can just build it and you'll stack it up no problem. I suspect that it's broken. I don't know it like mathematically, or I don't know if you actually get a lot of use out of it. But I have a gut feeling that it's cost efficient and worth making.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I really like Fimbulwinter. Like it's just like how it works and getting like the bonus health out of mana, like that's a nice feels good kind of item for me as well.
Yeah, and then while I'm on the tank kind of topic, I think my real pick of the week is just going to be Grasp of the Undying, because sometimes, like, ever since I downloaded the Blitz app to use it for scouting and TFT, which, by the way, I've been hard stuck for like a month now. It's so crazy. Then I started using it for League of Legends, obviously, and it'll just pick your runes for you. But like sometimes it'll give you different runes in that tree, like Aftershock or what's the other one?
Guardian.
Yeah, Aftershock or Guardian. And when I play ARAM, I would much rather have Grasp because it makes me feel like I'm more incentivized to continue to fight instead of just like walking around waiting for cooldowns or something like that. Especially when I'm
Yeah.
playing Blitzcrank, like after you pull and uppercut somebody, like there's nothing else to do. But when you have Grasp, now I feel like okay, well at least I can. There's a reason for me to continue like autoing people instead of just like waddling around and maybe even retreating until my cooldowns are back up again. So I like the scrap opportunities, so I'm gonna continue to take Grasp of the Undying for my melee champs on ARAM.
Dude, I'll support you on that. You know, actually, I had an ARAM. Speaking of Blitzcrank, I had an ARAM. Like I guess it was probably before the last episode that we played, but I had Blitzcrank and went Grasp and had just like Sunfire and Fimbulwinter, Frozen Heart. I was going nuts in that game, dude. I think we had like two tanks on our team and just were like the other team had like super low damage stuff that was like we were just beating them up as Blitzcrank and some other tank that was it was nutty.
Yeah, double tanks are fun. Tanks are fun. The more fun, the more friends you have.
Yeah, because you can just go in and it's like, guys, we're going in. I'm the tank. I say when we go in. Then they can't say no or flame you.
Yeah, but you can flame them if they don't follow up for some reason.
Exactly, exactly.
All right, with the LCS Lock-In Tournament, it comes the return of the LCS co-streams, and we've had our first 3 days of the Lock-In Tournament, which, admittedly, I did not watch very many games. I only watched like two of them, which was the TL and EG game, and then I think I watched the second TSM game where they played against FlyQuest, I think. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty much it. A lot of games took place over the weekend where each team got to play 3 times. Um, were you able to catch any of the lock-in tournament?
Yeah, I was able to watch some. It was mostly like kind of glancing in and whatever game happened to be on, catching a few minutes at a time. But yeah, also East Coast is like a really weird time zone, I feel like, to watch games on. I was like waking up and I could see some LCK games, but then like EU starting in the middle of the day, it was fucked, dude. I was so not used to it. Um,
Oh right.
yeah, it was. I would not recommend if you're choosing to move based off of purely what League of Legends leagues you can watch. But I did. Yeah, I was able to catch some. I think I watched some of the initial like TSM versus 100 Thieves like fucking beatdown. And when it became clear that that TSM had no chance, I went back to like socializing with my family. Um,
Right.
And then yeah, I think caught like some of the TL games. Seems like seems like Whippo is having a very good time, and I feel like the rest of TL is still kind of like sorting out how everybody fits together. But just my initial impressions on a lot of that stuff. The EG is 3-0, so they're nuts.
Yeah, and speaking of Team Liquid, some pretty much some news came. I don't even know if it's news, but basically they cannot play all of their imports at once, so they're having Core JJ sit out for the time being, and they have a different support that plays with them right now. So it's Whippo, Santorin, Bjergsen, Hansama, and then their support Isla, I believe his name is.
Yeah, and didn't they play one game? Aren't they like swapping games where they do like Yeon and Core as the bot lane, and then the other ones are Hansama and Ayla or Isla?
Yeah, but I really doubt that's gonna go on forever. Like
Yeah,
that I hope they make it sound like the situation is going to improve, but by the time the LCS season starts, I don't
right.
know if that can happen um,
Yeah, I
with
think
the
they did.
American government.
Yeah, I think they did say this week that they like signed on a different support to play in academy games too while they were still sorting stuff out. So
Yeah,
uh,
so that means it's
not very
fucked.
promising. Yeah.
But yeah, but like you were mentioning, EG went 3-0 over the weekend, as well as Cloud9. So those two teams are looking pretty solid in their group so far. Especially Evil Geniuses, they are looking really good with the current meta as well as with their team right now. I think JoJo's looking good. I saw him play the game of Corki, I guess, and we kind of talked about it earlier. But basically, there's this demon build, I would say, of Corki going around where You get to build Ludens and Titanic Hydra, or not Titanic, Ravenous Hydra.
Ravenous Hydra.
Yeah, and your rockets just hurt insanely hard
Yeah.
after like level 11, and it looks really fun. And that kind of makes me want to play Corki. And I've like generally liked Corki mid in the past, anyways. So
Mhm.
it looks like pretty fun. And then, you control every dragon with your package up and stuff like that. Because for some reason the timing lines up every time. Um,
Isn't it like an 8-minute cooldown? Should it not be like that? Or is it just the start of the game and it's 8 minutes?
I feel like it's up more frequently than that.
Alright,
Maybe
I'm gonna
just
look
this.
it up
Yeah, maybe
while
just
you
the first
continue describing.
package.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that it comes up very frequently, and you'll have like 5 packages throughout the game, typically. But I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I mean it is very, very powerful and definitely I think it must be right. Oh, it's 240 seconds, which is 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
No
Yeah,
way. Holy shit, dude, that's broken.
broken. Yeah, it definitely should not be like every dragon.
Yeah, I thought it was for sure like at least 6 minutes. Like I knew that it was like a 8 minute like for the first one, but I thought it was longer than just every four. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that is
Corky's
appropriate
broken.
for the first one. But yeah, after that, it should probably be like 6 or something like that,
Yeah.
or 6, maybe even a little longer. But I mean, it's funny because like I've actually never thought of it that way. Like I just think of it as like, oh, every once in a while I get back to lane really fast.
Right.
That's how my chimp mind thinks of it. But I've never thought of it as like, oh, I should just take it. I should just not take it until we're about to fight dragon, and then
As an
every
ADC
time we fight
player,
dragon, yeah,
yeah. As an ADC player, I think it's just like, oh, it's 8 minutes. Okay, Corky's coming to gank bot. Let's
yeah,
let's back up when you hear that big sound.
yeah. That's kind of how I think of it too. I've never thought of it as like every dragon you have Corki package, and that's super annoying for the other team. Which some people were just screaming about on Twitter that teams weren't doing that.
Yeah. Like doing the
Um,
classic like pick it up a minute 30 before dragon. You're like, bro, they're just gonna wait. Like you're doing nothing.
I know, right? Well, yeah, Evil Geniuses looks good. Cloud9 looks fine so far. Sven's been popping off, and then Fudge Mid has been doing fine so far.
Mhm. He's
100
kind of been
Thieves.
picking his like comfort picks still, like top laners, like the Jace and stuff from what I've seen.
Oh yeah,
So
and that's kind
we've
of what
yet
you
to see the
predicted as
like
well.
yeah, we've yet to see like the true like Annie LS mid picks yet, but
Yeah, and I don't think that it's not Annie. I don't think that LS has arrived in the states yet either.
yeah, I
Just
think I was watching some of his stream and he was saying like he was making it very clear that like the current team that's in LA is like its own team and like he is like not running it, kind of like the drafts aren't his, like they're not participating in scrims like really closely and that kind of stuff. So it's not even Cloud9 in its final form kind of thing, and they're 3-0.
yeah, 3-0
Granted,
at the lock-in tournament.
yeah, 3-0 on the lock-in tournament where they played like FlyQuest, TSM, and Golden Guardian. So like TSM Academy and Golden Guardian. So like it's not even really real, but they're 3-0. Good for them.
Yeah, and then 2-1 are 100 Thieves and Team Liquid. 100 Thieves suffering a loss to a FlyQuest, I think it was, and then Team Liquid losing to only Evil Geniuses so far. So those teams are both looking pretty up right now, and I wonder how FlyQuest and Counter Logic Gaming are going to proceed in the next coming days when the lock-in returns this weekend.
Yeah, I think the big surprise to me was how well I think one the like 100 Thieves losing to FlyQuest is probably the one that I'm most like, really, you're doing that now already? Like 100 Thieves being the team that has all their players and was the reigning champs and that kind of stuff. And I feel like this FlyQuest team isn't probably that good. I mean, they're the one team that lost the TSM Academy, right? Like what's up with that? But then also like Immortals being 0-3 so far is kind of the surprise story for me too.
Yeah, I think we were both hoping to see more out of Immortals, um, with the return of Xerxes and stuff like that in Revenge.
Hmm.
I think we were hoping to see them have like a better second year to kick it off. But it's just a lock-in tournament, so who
Yeah, that's
cares?
true.
I guess.
If they continue down this trend though, I'm gonna say it was all Gilhoto. Now that he's at TL, it's just like they have they have no soul.
Yep. Anything else you want to talk about the lock-in teams or any of the matches?
Not really. I mean, like I feel like I've somehow pulled enough out for not having watched that many games. So hopefully,
Yeah.
as we get into the best of threes and stuff this weekend, does Lock-In doesn't finish this weekend, right? They go until next week,
Yeah,
at
I'm pretty
least,
sure it's another 2 weeks. So this weekend is it's the
like the
rest of
first
the
round of playoffs.
yeah, I believe it's the quarterfinals, and then next weekend it's this both the semis and then the finals in the same weekend, just like last year, I
Okay,
think.
okay.
Yeah,
Then
I
yeah,
think
I'm excited as we get into the series and stuff to see how all the teams play there.
for
But
sure.
with a lot of the, it still is like it's kind of weird with how many like academy rosters are being fielded, kind of, or like half academy. So I'm yeah, I feel like the bracket portion will be more exciting for those teams, or at least to see how people do in extended settings than just the best of ones when you don't really know how a team is going to shape up.
And then lastly, to top this episode off, I thought it'd be um, a good idea to instead of talking about the games, we could just talk about some of the picks that were prevailing throughout the lock-in games. So, courtesy of a Game of Legends, I'll just do like the top three pick ban champions for each role. So up top, we've got Gwen, Gragas, and Sion. Special mention for Camille. I kind of like that kind of meta. Ashamed to see the return of Gwen, but I like that Gragas and Sion are back in play mode again because I
Yeah,
like to see tanks in top lane, and I like those are the kind of games of League where I like watching, where it's like standardized front to back kind of fighting, and you
yeah.
like it's very clear like who does what and how to start it off, and typically the teams play better that way as well.
Makes sense as a TFT player too, right? Like
Yeah,
that's what you
it
live
just
for.
makes sense. You need frontline.
I do think, I feel bad kind of for Gwen because I think like you said, it makes sense to like have the tanks in the back in the meta and like have those kind of straight up team fights. But at the same time, if that is the prevailing stuff, Gwen feels like a perfect counter to those things, like easy magic damage splash plus a good tank counter. Um, so I kind of like her there, and I feel bad because I think that Gwen is like, in my head, it sounds like such a fun champ to play. Like the extended like AP auto attack fighter. Like I like that the sound of that. But then sometimes you watch her in games, and it's just like, man, that champ is like so bullshit. Like when she gets strong, or like when it gets to late game, even if she wasn't like that strong, and it might be a game where she is pretty useless just like because of the comp that they're against, but there'll be one point where Gwen's gonna like go in and get like her full ulti and like a Q, like a fully empowered Q, like go off, and it's just gonna like one shot somebody that you did not think it was gonna one shot after she has been mostly useless all game, and I'm like, damn, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel about Gwen as well. That's a 2021 champion for sure. Next up, we have Jungle. Most picked are Jin Zhao, Viego, and Lee Sin for most picked band. Next up in the mid lane, we have Corki, Victor, and Syndra. So back to that kind of meta as well. It's just a lot of Corki and Victor back and forth.
Corki Victor, Corki Victor. At least no Azir, right? That's
Yeah,
the true
surprisingly,
third
not a lot
horseman.
of Azir. Um, we'll probably see more of him if Corki or Victor get hit in the next coming patches.
Right.
For bot
I
lane,
guess
we
he.
have. Oh, what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say. I guess he just like doesn't like Crown. Probably is like the big difference. Like Azir really wants like the damage proc of like a Ludens or a Liandry's, I think, and I don't. I feel like those other guys are Crown abusers.
Is Crown really that good right now?
I feel like people like it. I don't think it's like that good, but just like if you're picking champs like that, like I think Victor is like a Crown abuser kind of. At
Yeah,
least
I think so.
I've heard a lot of stuff of like people, like some people saying like, dude, Crown is such a bait item, and others saying like, yeah, like it's obviously like meta warping. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I can see it. Depends. It definitely depends on the team comp, I guess, that you're up against. Like if you need the anti burst and stuff.
Yeah, I think when I played Victor the other day, I built Ludens on him just because that feels right. But
Hmm.
I have played against a Crown Victor, and it feels super annoying to like just have to like proc it first like a Banshees, and then
Yeah.
but then he probably did a full rotation on you
Right.
in the meantime. Um, and then like or if you even get too close to just to like pop the crown shield, then like he'll W you or something like that,
Right.
and then like it has to be a quick trade in that sense. So it feels it's pretty hard to punish, or he'll punish you for trying to like just even want to play the game. So I believe you on that. Next up, we have bottom lane. Most picked band are Jinx, Aphelios, and by a lot, and then Jhin is number three. Kind of funny that Jinx is up there, like of all champions.
It's because of Arcane, dude. Even the LCS can't get away with it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're
I think
right.
it's just it might just be forced marketing, like
Yeah,
Riot's
just a
like,
bunch
look,
of fanboys.
yeah.
Yeah, little do we know, like in the tournament realm client, like Jinx is just way bigger out of all of them.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy though how she's just like gotten so much prevalence lately. I guess they had like the last change they made was like the one where her like her rockets cost like less mana at early ranks, but it's just like kind of a laning change. But I guess with lethal tempo and I think probably just how a lot of fights are going. I mean, it's early season. Like I feel like those kind of like cleanup champs are probably a tendency for early season when teams are like not as clean or don't know like their true identity. It's just like, oh yeah, I've been picking Jinx in solo queue, and like it kind of pops off. Like, all right, let's do it.
I think that probably is it as well as just a lot of the off season. People have been playing a lot of Jinx. Well, people played a lot of Jinx over the course of last year, anyways. Especially when they
Yeah,
changed her ulti to like destroy Baron at 2,000 health. Uh,
right.
yeah, so I mean, we haven't done one of these like most picked band kind of things. I'm sure Jinx was up there for like most of summer split last year, um, and here she is returning in the new year in the Lock-In Tournament, pretty strong as well, uh,
Yeah,
but likely due to abusing lethal tempo as well. And then finally for support, we've got a mix of tank and enchanter supports. Up there are Thresh, Nautilus, and Lulu, but there's been a whole bunch of different range of support champions picked at the Lock-In Tournament, which you like to see it, I think.
yeah, definitely. I feel like the support meta is usually like pretty indicative of like whether or not it's like a nice meta. Like having if it's all enchanters or it's all like if it's all one thing, then usually it's kind of boring. I think like bottom lanes aren't picking like different stuff. It's just like, oh, Nautilus Leona. All right, we're picking Nautilus Leona in every game, or
Yeah,
like you're just picking like Karma Nami, like, or it's like Lucian Nami is like the lane. Like you're just they're always picking the same things. No one's trying to pick anything different. Like so, seeing some diversity is good.
that's what I think so too. And
Dude, actually,
go ahead.
did you see in LCK some team picked the support Singe this week?
No, but I think I did hear about that.
I'm trying to find a video or something real quick here to remember which team it is. Yeah, straight up, it was Gen G. Lehens picked it against Damonkia, and they won the series off of it.
That's pretty funny. And actually, when you think about it, like Fling plus the honeybee slow or the goo, the is that
Yeah,
the W? Yeah, that also
yeah,
grounds
that's the
you.
W.
Like
That's the W. Yeah,
it's pretty
I mean
good
he's strong.
actually.
Yeah, you just have to be able to get out of lane phase, and if you're a pro team, I feel like usually that is easier. I think they picked it here, and they picked it into Ezreal Yumi. So like, talk about a lane to just be able to get out of, right? But like, it's a good chance if you're or it's a good champ if you kind of like scale with it and aren't like super feeding. So I can see it, but also please don't pick support Sage in my games
Yeah, I would say
if you've
like
never played it.
it sounds like it can be very awful if you're not a pro team.
Yeah, if you're
But
not Lehens, actually, if your name is not Lehens, please do not pick support
yeah,
Sage
but
in my game.
if we got like super baked in the car and you were like, dude, Sinch has all the tools to be a support, and I'd be like,
I
you know
I
what?
believe you. Yeah, you right.
You know what? We're taking Flash Ghost the next time we play.
Oh, did you see Bjergsen played his first academy games today? Up and coming NA star finally plays an academy.
Yeah, that's such a shame, dude. Like you lose one game in the lock-in, and they force you to play Academy after that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
And then
kidding.
he lost his academy game, so he might actually be off the team.
Oh,
Like,
I did not see that.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And it's because their mid laner is stuck in Australia, I believe, right?
Hmm. Yeah. I just can't imagine. I think it was I think he's playing as fucking Soligo, you know? Like imagine being Soligo and you're like, "Ah, yes, today I finally get to play like my first academy game of 2022. Like I'm going to show up." And then like 2 hours before the game you're like, "Oh yeah, actually you're playing against Bjergsen today." And you're like, "What the fuck, dude? Come on." I think he even picked Zillion. Like you're facing Bjergsen Zillion in fucking academy. Like that actually is like smurfing, right? It might be against Riot terms of service.
You know what? Silly Goat wasn't scared.
True. I mean, he won, so who are we to judge, right? Guy
True
was
that.
ready.
All right, and that's going to be it for episode 42 of On the Hunt, a League of Legends podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on the service that you are listening to us on if you haven't already. We'd appreciate it if you also give us a rating or hit the like button to show us some support. You can find us on YouTube as well as your podcast player of choice, from Apple Podcasts to Spotify and so forth. We'll see you all next week for another episode of On the Hunt.
See you guys.